Hello and welcome to what is going to be a little bit of a unboxing stroke mini review walkthrough of this guy here. This is the Vortex Optics Crossfire red dot, and we will be going through this and having a quick look around the actual scope here. This is something that I've picked up new and it's going to go on a new gun. Let's just quickly have a look around the box. So we've got our kind of details here of the actual device. We've got its sort of length, and so it's 2.5 inches, 5 ounces. Lens diameter is 1.1 inches, which is 30 millimeters. Unlimited eye relief, battery life, and then we've got some more details of what's included. Then we have basically more details here. So we've got the size of the red dot, which is 2 MOA. It's a bright red dot, and it is red. Various details about the scope. It's nitrogen purge, so it's waterproof and fog. Got fog resistance, shockproof, so it doesn't lose its zero. It's got various coatings. So this is a real steel optic as well. So this is not a clone. This is a real steel optic. And Crossfire shipped this with a VIP unlimited warranty, which is absolutely awesome. They do great customer service. So this is designed to go on an AR platform weapon as well as pistols and shotguns. And let's just kind of finish the run around the box. Let's just open this up and have a look inside. So we have got the manual. I'll just pop that down there. We have a Picatinny rail. So this is an additional Picatinny rail which can be used to mount on a pistol. I'll just pop that down there. Get rid of that. Take out the scope. This is a scope. We'll go over that in a bit more detail in a minute. And that's what else is in the box. We have this here, which is a Allen key to enable you to mount the scope. I'll just close this up and pop this out of the way. Okay, so Allen key. It's actually a hex bolt, not a proper Allen key. We'll put that there. And then we've got some screws here. These are spare screws. We'll come to those in a minute. This is the scope here. So I mentioned this is a 2 MOA red dot. It has adjustment graduation of 1 MOA and has a maximum windage and elevation adjustment of 100 MOA. So effectively you can, this is windage, elevation, you can use these to basically alter the position of the dot and zero in your scope. It takes a CR 2032 battery. I've actually already loaded this just to kind of speed things up. So when we kind of look through the scope, you'll see the dot. Kind of have a look around. This is the Picatinny mount. It's not quick release. You do need the tool here to actually undo that and then mount it to the scope. It is spring loaded here. It's a low kind of profile mount. It's not solid. As you can see here, we have basically some screws here, and if you undo these 4 screws, you can mount this guy here. So this will go on there, and you can mount this for a pistol, or if you don't particularly want a high a red dot on your rifle for some reason, maybe you're putting it on an extender or something like that, or you've kind of got like a box or something that you're putting this on, then potentially you want to use that to keep the height reasonable. It has this kind of rubberized scope covers. Basically just look after those, they protect your optics. Kind of have a look around. We've got a Crossfire name here in the Vortex branding. Vortex branding here. It's fairly straightforward kind of scope. It is very simple. Now we have here, this is the control for the red dot. It starts at 0 obviously, which is off, and then it goes up to 11. That's the brightness of the dot. I'm going to just turn this up, and I'm actually going to turn it all the way to 11 so we can actually see the dot. As you can, what we'll do is I'm going to just pop this here as like a clear So you can just see the dot there. It's nice movement as you kind of move the scope around. That would be equivalent to your eye moving. Let's just kind of crank that down a couple of notches and just have a look at that brightness again. Now it's actually daylight and the dot is still there, but it's not as bright. I'm trying to see it on the camera here. I can actually see it with my naked eye, but it is actually in daylight it does need to be cranked up to 11 so you can see it, but at night you can pop that down quite low. I was doing some test firing with this and my gun, and I did it in the dark because I was testing a tracer unit as well, and I had that dialed down to about this level and it was beautifully visible in the darkness. So yeah, so when daylight as it is at the moment, you do have to crank it all the way up. 10 is okay, 9 is okay on camera. I can't really see 8 on camera as I'm looking at this, but if you kind of look at it through the actual optic, as I'm kind of looking to the side here, I can see the dot quite clearly. It's a bright dot. It's a nice visible dot in there. It does work well. I tried it with the iron sights on the gun as well, and it works really nicely. As a co-witness, it's really good. So there we go. And let me just crank that back. Let me take a quick look at the things here. So I just need to pop these off. So these screw caps open up the adjustments for 0. As you can see, it requires a sort of flathead screwdriver, or you could use a 1p piece in the UK, or probably a 1 cent piece in the US to actually kind of do that, or you use this. You can't really tell from here, but if you just see there's an actual kind of nodule on the top that actually fits like that in there. I'm not going to twist this because I've already zeroed this scope. It did come pretty close out of the box for the 0. It was actually not bad. I did have to tweak it a little bit, but yeah. So basically, again, the windage on it was actually perfect. It was just the elevation that needed tweaking. But again, here we've got the windage. Very, very straightforward scope. Very simple. Easy to use, very, very easy to mount. Positioning is, very easy to sort of use whilst on the actual the actual scope. So let's just pop that down there. Let's kind of take a quick look around the manual, just so we do get a nice little cleaning cloth. I do recommend keeping hold of that, but also getting a proper cleaning kit as well, some anti-fog for cleaning the lens. So we've got the various bits of information telling you about the actual scope and various elements. We've also got things like how to adjust the red dot and where the battery is and powering it up. We've also got details of things like brightness adjustment, battery life. So they reckon 7,000 hours at a middle setting, so that's about 5 or 6 for medium brightness, and that will last 7,000 hours. Got details of all of the adjustment parameters and sort of information about how to actually mount and zero your scope. So there we go, and it's actually quite, it's a very straightforward, simple manual. Anyone can basically go through this and actually get it set up very easy. Got a nice little troubleshooting guide here. Basically, is the battery dead? Is it installed correctly, so on. If you're not seeing the red dot, but this is very simple, so there's not much that can go wrong. If you've got poor grouping, make sure you sort of the thing's tight on the actual mount, sort of stuff like that. As I say, it is a very straightforward scope. There's not much to go wrong. Details of maintenance, lubrication, storage, and that sort of thing. And then basically just kind of an indication of what it looks like with the 2 mounts. So this is the larger mount, the high mount, which is used, when I say in an AR platform, if you want to do a co-witness and so on. And then you've got the lower mount if you want to say put it on a pistol. and everything else. And then this is the key thing, the key differentiator with Vortex Optics is this, the VIP warranty. Now the VIP warranty, loads of people kind of talk about this, and the reason why I started buying the Vortex scopes, and I have now bought 3, is this warranty. Basically, I play Airsoft, and I had a scope, one of the first scopes I had playing Airsoft, and on one of the first games with that scope, this this kind of front of the scope got hit twice. Now, luckily, I had a kill flash on there acting as a protection. That kill flash got wrecked, basically in a game. The great thing about Vortex is if you damage this scope in any way, they will replace you under warranty. So if you get shot out in an Airsoft game, this will get replaced. Now, I'm not saying don't try and protect your scope. I mean, what I've done on all of my other scopes is I've mounted some polycarb to the area here. It's going to be pretty difficult to do that here because all of the others I've actually used a lens cover, like one of their Defender covers, to actually mount the polycarb on the front. But you see there's not really much to mount on here, so it's really quite difficult. The other great thing about this scope, and to note about the warranty, is the warranty is not to the person that bought the scope in the first place, it is to the scope itself. So if I sold this to someone second hand, they would get full benefit of the warranty. It transfers with the scope. So essentially, as long as you've got the scope and the serial number and everything else, you can basically get that scope replaced if damaged. And that's the great thing about Vortex Optics, is that they do an amazing warranty and their customer service is awesome. As an example of this, I have a Spitfire AR Prism scope, and basically I took that out. The first time I took it out, I lost a lens cover. I didn't actually damage the scope, but I contacted Vortex just to ask them where I could get the lens covers from to fit that scope. And they actually said, they turned around and said, give us your address, we will send you a new one. And sure they did, they sent me a new scope cover, and all was good in the world. So that was a brief rundown of the Vortex Optics Crossfire Red Dot. It's a great little scope, I love it. It works really nicely on the gun that I'm going to put it on. I have tested it, as I say, I had a play with this before. But yeah, so this is a really nice little scope. So with that, thank you all for watching. If you found this useful, please hit the like button, and then please subscribe to the channel. There is one thing I forgot to mention before we sort of sign off, is price. This is an incredibly reasonably priced scope. It is $220 or thereabouts in the US, and about £150 here in the UK to buy. So it is an amazing bargain. That warranty alone is worth more than the scope, and it is a brilliant piece of kit. So with that, I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you guys next time.